Hi class, today I want to go over partial fraction decomposition. Pretty much we want to decompose a fraction into partial fraction. So what we have right there is the sum of fractions, right? So this is like the opposite of adding. So we want to reverse it. Okay, so type 1 right here, what I have is linear factor for the denominator. Now, I understand that, as you can see, we have a quadratic equation, quadratic expression, but that's just because I haven't factored. So the first thing you need to do is you need to factor. So now what you have is linear factors. So for linear factor, you're going to have this form. So we're going to have a constant over each factor, each linear factor. And the goal here is to solve for A and B, right? So what I want to do is I want to multiply everything by the LCD. When I say everything, I have to multiply both sides, right? I'm sorry, I'm running out of room for the left-hand side. So I'm just gonna write for the right-hand side, but you have to understand we're doing it for everything, right? So we're not changing the problem. Anyway, so if I multiply by the LCD, I can just put LCD here. Okay, I'm going to cancel out the denominator and ended up with negative 3x minus 17. And then right here, I have a times x minus 1. And then the second one, I have bx plus 3. Now, I can eliminate one. I can eliminate A and then solve for B and do the same thing for B, right? So if I let x equals to 1, I can eliminate A, right? If x equals to 1, I'm going to get negative 3 times 1 minus 17 equals A times 1 minus 1. So that's 0. Cancel out. Plus B, sorry. B, 1 plus 3. So what we have over here is negative 20 for B. So B is negative 5, right? I can do the same thing for A. So I want to eliminate B, so I'm going to let x equals to negative 3. So what I have right here is negative 3 times negative 3 minus 17 equals A, negative 3 minus 1, and then B cancel out. So what we have on this side is 9 minus 17, so that's negative 8, negative 4A. So A is 2. Okay, and make sure you plug it in the original. So the original, I have A over x plus 3. So that's going to be 2 over x plus 3 plus B is negative 5. X minus 1. So that's what we have for the answer. Now, you can always check your answer by adding, okay? Get the LCD, add. All right, the next one, first, like I said, we have to factor, right? So if I factor, I'm gonna get x squared minus 6x plus 9. Okay, as you can see, we have to factor one more time. So I have x and then x minus 3 squared. So that's why I put type 2 repeated factor, because this is what you have, the x minus 3 squared. So for this type, we're going to have one fraction for each power. So what do I mean by that? So what we have is going to be x squared plus 7x plus 18 over x minus 3 squared is going to be a for x. And then we have b for x minus 3 to the first power plus c x minus 3 squared. You see that? So for each for each power, for each exponent, we have a constant. So let's say if I have x minus 3 cubed, you're going to have to do b over x minus 3 plus c over x minus 3 squared plus d over x minus 3 cubed. Okay, now we're going to multiply the LCD one more time. All right, so after I multiply everything by the LCD, on this one, I have x squared okay. Now, so make sure you distribute everything. So I FOIL, I distribute. So I ended up with that equations right there. And then I collect the term for x squared. I collect the term for x, and I collect the term for the constant. So let me highlight those for you. So I have x squared and x right there. Now, we just match up the coefficient to solve for a, b, and c. So you see x squared over here, I have 1. And then over here, I have a plus b. So like I said, we matched them up. So 1, actually, let me just put a plus b equals 1. And then I have negative 6a minus 3b plus c equals 7 over here. And then 9a give me 18. So we know that a is going to be 2. All right, so that's a very good equation. So just give me a right away. I'm going to go back to the first one right here, and then plug a in for plug 2 in for a. So b is going to be -1, and then I have 2 and -1. I plug it in the second equation and then solve for c, right? So -6 times 2 minus 3 times -1 plus c equal to 7. Okay, so -12 plus 3. So what do we have here? So what I have is -9 plus c equal to 7. So C, we add it over, so 16. All right, so I'm so sorry. I supposed to plug it back in for the equation, but you understand. So I have, let me just highlight it for you. B, A, and C right there.